Hey guys, you're watching the Fishing with Gary show again. Well, we're back at Land of the Giants. Yep, you guessed it, Saguaro Lake, about 35 miles north of Phoenix, and we're here trying to catch one of these giants. We haven't been up here for a year, so we're just gonna keep going and see what happens. See if we can hook one of these babies. There's a lot of people fishing here. It's a Saturday morning. Got a nice cloud cover, so we'll just kind of. Right now I'm just throwing a bladed jig, vibe jig, chatterbait to be exact, and we'll just let that go down where the fish, a lot of fish on the graph, a lot of shad, so see what happens. I got a whole array of stuff out today, you know, from drop shot to Texas rig to lures to crankbaits to you name it. So we'll just kind of film this, figure it out, and it's a brand new lake for us, so we're just gonna try everything we can and see if we can get this going along the shoreline here, and we're just pitching up to the shore and stuff like that. You know, we've caught a couple off camera, but now I'm just dragging. I'm seeing a lot on the graph, just little individuals. Oh, there's a bite right there. All right, there he is. There he is. There he is. Not what we're looking for, but we'll take something like this, you know. It's just a nice little, but one thing, we're way up the river right now, and you know, it's just a little 1.5 pound one, but the coloring is beautiful on these. These are so dark in this fast river like this, so we'll just let this little baby go. And what I'm fishing with is, I'm just back to the old Bartlett Lake special, you know, just using my good old brush hogs, you know, straight as an arrow, 1/4 ounce tungsten, 2-aught hook, and a brush hog with a little bit of chartreuse on the back. So I'm just going in, I'm just throwing them right up on the rocks and just letting it slide right down, like down the bank. And after it gets down to be 10, 15 feet, that one just picked it up. There's no bite. I missed a couple bites because there's no bite at all. So they don't knock it or hit it or anything. It's just one of those pressure bites. But you can see what we're fishing here. Got the current pushing us along this morning, so we'll just kind of keep doing it. I've been flipping the walls. Like I said, it's about time. We got here really early when it was dark, so it's getting light enough to start shooting. And there's tons of people here. There's only been one other guy to catch a fish, and we had a bad storm last night. So I'm sure that this has knocked out the fishing just a little bit. So we're just gonna keep casting and just aiming for the shore and drift with the current. See what, all right, we're trolling down through this little ravine. There's a lot of fish. We just all of a sudden got in the fish that are not on the rocks, but they're out. So I'm just bouncing along, and all they're doing, they're not big fish, but you know, it's bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. There he is. No bite at all. It just gets heavy. So if you're a brand new bass fisherman, oh boy, here we go. Okay. The one key thing to do is get a fishing pole that is sensitive. I don't care what kind of reel to put on it. It's nice to have a nice reel, but this is a really little guy. But this rod, like I was saying, if you're a brand new fisherman, having a sensitive rod means the difference on everything. And I really don't care what kind of reel you put on it, you know, but the rod makes a huge difference. I like using the medium rods with a fast tip. So I'm just gonna pitch this back up and just let that thing just fall down the rocks and just kind of go on the bottom. One of these times we're gonna hook into a big one. There's a lot of big fish in this area, so we'll just kind of see what happens and just keep fishing. I'm coming to a spot in the river that I know. There's like a little cove right here, and I've caught some fish in here. There's a sandbar underneath me, so I went from 25 feet down to 9 feet out here on this sandbar. So I'm just gonna kind of random cast across this sandbar just to see if I can get some fish. Just let it go down. So, yeah, it's only 9 feet deep here. And we're just fishing with the current. Today, they're pulling water up. Sounds kind of wet, but those pumps that suck the water out of Saguaro, excuse me, and put it back in canyon are really, really strong. So it can make a big current. So the lake was plumb full when we got here. So they were pumping water all night. And then this morning, they're pumping it back in the canyon. So as you can see, the water level already is down a foot. So they suck the water out of this lake like crazy, but it creates a current. And these fish thrive on this current here at Saguaro. So I'm just letting that bounce right over the sandbar just to check. There's a few fish here that I'm seeing on the graph. Not many, but just a few little bleeps. So we're just catching them one at a time. Nothing. I'm just dragging that over. There's a few rocks on this sandbar. I can feel them down there. Boy, that felt good. These tungsten weights, that's another thing I recommend using, is a tungsten. It works really, really well, you know. Whoop, that one tugged back. He didn't feel too big, but he hit it. And you don't know if it's going to be a bluegill or a little tiny bass or whatever, but a bite's a bite. That's the first one. That's the first bite that I actually felt. So sometimes when they're doing that, I'll take some spray, and I don't care if you're using crawfish or you use Bang or what you use. So I just kind of spray it, just in case those fish are not holding on too good. And that way, when they bite it, they taste that taste on there instead of the rubbery taste, and they hold on to it a lot better. So you can actually set the hook and have them on there. That one just was one of those little tappers, just tap, tap, you know, so I'm just kind of dragging it over this sandbar. I haven't caught very many. I haven't caught any bluegill up this lake at all, but I have caught a lot little bass. But we've caught some giant bass last year when we were up here filming. So I can feel those rocks down on the sandbar down there with this tungsten, just dragging it along. I just saw some fish down in the bottom here. So what I'm gonna do is bounce this brush hog right along the bottom. I've been catching them that way. And like I said, they haven't been big. And I'm giving it the old Bartlett jiggle, you know, until he bites back. Come on, baby, come on up. Right. Just another nice little, they're not big, but you know what? They're bass. So, like I said, you never know when you're gonna hook that big one. But, boy, these are little ones. I never caught any this little, but there must be a last year's spawn. But look how dark they are. Wow. We'll just let this little guy go, right? He's gone. Man. We've been seeing just 3, 4 at a time. Just going along the bottom. Fishing the graph. So there was a bunch of them back there. So what I'm going to do is go back right where they are. So we're just still letting that bounce along the bottom, guys. Just, there's no bite. I had one tick and now look at, there it is. It's just heavy. Whoa, fighters, boy, these things fight hard. Man. They're small, but those Florida strain, they do fight. Oh, he's a little, hey, they're getting bigger. You know, look at this. It's in the 2-pound range now instead of the pound, pound a quarter, pound and a half. Yep, there they are. Beautiful fish. Okay, guy, thank you. All right. Oh, there's a bite. Got him. Big old bass. Nice one. Well, guys, looks like we may have got us a big one. He's pulling really, really, really hard. He's taking drag. He's coming up. Whoa, that's a nice fish. Finally. Whoops, I'm gonna have to get away from this shoreline. He's singing on the drag, that's for sure. Holy mackerel. All right. All right, we seem to hang on to a good one now. So he's pulling pretty hard. I haven't got to see him a little bit. Oh yeah, he's a nice one now. Look at this. He's wore out now. A little bit nicer. They're getting, like I said, they're getting a little bit bigger. So this is pretty close to you guys. Not too bad. The good old brush hog is finally starting to pay off. But yeah, it's getting bigger. So that's what we're after. Land of the giants. So we'll go ahead and I'll let this guy go and revive him a little bit. Okay, there he goes. Nice. Whew. Boy, I tell you, that's we got a little close quarters here, but there we go. Once again, watermelon candy. They started reversing the water, going back the other way. Now it's going downstream. Real simple, guys. Just Texas rigged this thing. Same old thing. Show you how to do this. 2-aught hook. Go in the front of the brush hog. Slide it all the way up on. I keep by those extra wide gaps on the long ones, not the short ones. Kind of make your brush hog look kind of straight. Make sure it's straight. And I'm just using a 1/4 ounce tungsten. And like I said, they've been kind of you know, off the bank a little bit, so easy to catch them. You know, right now, just spot them on the graph. So, alrighty. Well, we're going to start back up and go up to the good spot again and try to catch another one. We're just pitching these rocks again, going downstream with there's one just swimming with it. See what this one looks like. Oh God. Whoa, that's a nice fish. I didn't think he was this big. Holy mackerel. That is one nice fish. Look at that. Come on, baby. Look at this. This is a nice one. Oh, that's a tub. Oh man, this is a nice one. Well, you can realize how hard these things can fight, you know, when, come on, baby. Holy mackerel. That is one nice fish. Wait till you see this one, folks. This is a good one. You know what? I'll work on this one later. This is oh, yeah. Look at this, boys. Look at that. That's a nice one. Whew. Isn't that a beauty? A little skinny, but, you know, heavy. That's a nice fat fish. Whew. Well, let's let this baby go. Let's let her go. Okay, she's alive. Well, we're down towards the end of our run right now. Oh shoot. Man, I had a bite right under the boat. So I'm just casting up against the rocks and just drifting out. We've got quite a few today, but there's a big old sandbar right here, so we're gonna have to shut down and probably go back up and make another run. Let's see if I get another bite right in through here. I caught that last big one right through here, so we started up and went back up to the front of it. I think we ought to run up the lake, run up the river a little bit further. We'll try that. We'll go way up there and see what happens. Look at that. I haven't been way up there, so. Got a nice, beautiful day with cloudy conditions, cool. It's only about 97 degrees, 96 degrees. All right, we're into another one, folks. It's coming in. Oh, feisty little guy. Just a nice little fat 1.5 pound, 2-pounder. Got it. Over here just talking to our friends Greg and Jeff next to us, and just casting around, showing them what I'm using. So, boy, I hooked him right in the top. Another thing, you just gotta wait for that fish just to see how skinny he is. Look at this, real skinny. He should be like a 3.5 pounder, but he's not. But it's pure, perfect color. Just pulling it along, and you just barely feel that bite and just set the hook. So that's how all our fish were today. So we're gonna let this little guy go, and we'll just let him swim off here. He's thinking about it. He's still there, isn't he? Here, guy. Come on. Whoa, boy. Well, that's it. Look at that. Good old watermelon candy, Texas rigged. Make sure you get that thing nice and straight. That's the whole ticket behind it. So we just like that, just Texas rigged, 1/4 ounce weight. Always make sure you're filling your line too, because if you got a little fray in there and you catch a big fish, especially if you're up here, it probably doesn't matter at Bartlett, but if you're up here it does. So check your bait. Got the chartreuse on the bottom. I think I've caught every fish on this today instead of the drop shot. So give it a try up here. Actually, give it a try everywhere. All right, here we are. We're just about ready to leave. We've caught a lot of fish today. Not a lot, but about 10. We caught some really big ones, some 3s, 4s, 5s, and a 7. So hope you enjoy the show. Brush hogs made by Zoom. Baby brush hogs, watermelon candy with a 1/4 ounce tungsten weight. Give it a try. 12-pound test line. Johnny Morris, Patriot Rod. You can't go wrong. This thing is perfect. Thanks again. We're saying goodbye from Saguaro Lake.